they don't know that vegetables have these toxins as well, that they try to protect themselves, and eventually it accumulates in our body, and that causes all kinds of issues.
Elizabeth, how did you find carnivore?
Um, Hello. So I think it was all in all a short journey, but a long journey at the same time. Carnivore itself. Uh, so first, I had been listening Jordan Peterson, and one of his talks, he just casually mentioned that he just only eats meat, and back then it didn't really hit any notes. And then later on, he mentioned how he healed his depression and all other problems, and how his daughter was healed with his joint issues. Now that was the first thing when I kind of raised up my head, like, joint issues, maybe I should look into this. And so I looked into these videos, specifically trying to find out Michaela Peterson, and because I had joint issues. And so in 2019, I kind of lost my mobility a bit. Like I was walking home, and then suddenly my knee just lost its balance and strength, and I had to touch the wall. I almost fell down, and I was like, "What's happening?" So, anyways, it was really painful, and my knee just grew double size, and so I had to go to hospital. I very slowly I pulled myself up on that walk home because I was going to call a taxi, but eventually I got home. And anyways, I was diagnosed with I think it's called chondromalacia palata. It's called like the runner's knee, where your kneecap is not working properly. So anyways, that's how my interest was risen, because I had these joint pains. And back then the doctors told me that it's not really, so it's, you can't really reverse it. So just have some vitamins or rest, forget jogging, the usual. So anyways, back to Michaela Peterson, I started to read the comments under her testimonial, and that's when I first met the word carnivore, because somebody just said, I'm on this diet for how long, or have been, and I'm like, what is carnivore? Because I'm Hungarian, this is not my first language, and I didn't even know this word. And so I kept looking, and then I looked up specifically carnivore diet on YouTube. And I think one of the first videos was Ken Berry and maybe Kelly Hogan. And I just listened her story. And then one after the other. And of course, even you came up, and all these people just shared stories, and I really enjoyed the comments because they looked so like, everyday people, not like doctors. Although I'm happy to see a lot of doctors. Specifically after that, I met Anthony Chaffee, not met, but I saw his videos, and so this is how it just all got me, like, wow, maybe I can heal my joint pains,
And when was this?
So it was last year. So I was diagnosed in 2019, and only last year, 2023, I think in the summer, I started to look up all these videos. And in October last year, 1st of October, I decided, okay, I'm just going to do this diet. And by then I had not a lot, but some information, and I had been watching these videos. And of course, I've been experimenting with other ways of diet just for a little bit of weight loss, but this was specifically to heal my joints. So 1st of October last year, I started on carnivore.
And how did you go when you started?
Yeah, so before that, I tried OMAD, which is one meal a day, and it's been working fine. But I plateaued with my weight loss. But I thought, okay, that's just it. And anyways, I wasn't too big, but I had a bit of a chubby face, and I think, plump. But and I think it's because I lost my mobility. I couldn't really go jogging previous, and so I just told my husband, okay, 1st of October, because it's like a very nobody has a birthday or any celebration. It's a safe time for me to start, and yeah, it was difficult. I remember my first meal was like pork ribs, because in Hungary it's mainly like a pork country. We eat a lot of pork, and I like pork ribs, but with fresh bread. But this time I of course I didn't eat any bread, and I must say I was a bit sick to my tummy, but then it got better. It got better, and so after the second week, I got out of bed like no pain, no problem. I'm like, oh, what is it? And I was even thinking about changing the mattress on the bed, because even my back, I had a back pain, but that was all gone. And I couldn't believe it, to be honest, because I always had some sort of aches and pains, especially, knee, it was a basic, and my thumbs, and just generally in the morning when you get up. And so yeah, that was really shocking for me to so soon to experience benefits.
There's nothing quite like that feeling of the pain disappearing, right? It's amazing.
Yeah, I was like, is it just because of my diet? And the other thing I noticed connecting to this is that I try to ride my bike at least to work, but I always had to very carefully slow down and then just gently get off, because I think as I got off, I don't know, even my hip was in pain and I always felt it was dislocated. I even went to a massage person who pulls your leg or joints back to its position. And I just hopped off. Nothing happened, no pain. I totally forgot that I was like biking and I didn't have to pay attention, that I have to slowly stop, and no issues. So that was my first big thing, which happened in the first month. And side effect, I lost 3 kilos in the first month, which was a bit like a surprise, because I thought it will maybe slowly go down, but not so quickly. And then I started to realize what happened, and noticed that even my eyesight got better in the first month. And that was totally an accidental, because I wear a pair of glasses for short sight, and I'm a teacher, so I often mark students' test papers. And I remember one night I was like halfway through in one of the essays I was reading, and then I just realized I'm not wearing my glasses. What happened? I can just read it. And so I think what happened, these eye floaters got less and less, and maybe it cleared my vision better. So I'm no doctor, but I I don't have to use my glasses. In fact, if I put them on, it's almost like doesn't give me a clear sight anymore. So I don't use my glasses. And of course I slept better, because before I was just turning, I guess because of the pain in my back. I don't know, but the first month was shocking, with other very just tiny but really good benefits. You felt quality of life has improved. So that was really,
Wow.
really good.
Nice. That's such a big change, like such a big life improvement, right?
Yes,
Um,
definitely. And
yeah.
I even noticed that I I healed better, because I'm in a classroom, students, bugs, influenza, cold all the time, and all winter I I had no issue with any of these problems. If I felt like something, like maybe I was a bit under the weather, I just went to bed early, and the next day I had no problems. So I just had a good sleep, and through the night my body healed itself.
That's interesting. That mirrors my feeling about sickness, you know, like
Hmm.
I was working in a kid's school up until recently. And, you know, I'd come home sometimes and I'd feel like, oh, this feels like a cold coming on or something, you know.
Hmm.
After I've slept, it's all gone. It's much better. It's amazing. Your body is just better at repairing itself, I think.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't know. I read somewhere that sleeping is really good, and for healing, but I couldn't really do that, and it's just probably because I didn't sleep well before, or something like that. My sleep quality was really bad, and now it's like way better, because I even thought that I just inherited bad sleep from my dad, because he can't really sleep well. So I just thought, that's it. That's me. I don't sleep well. But it's the diet.
So what has your husband been thinking this whole time?
He is very supportive. And first, in the first month, he would make his own little rice, or he would steam his broccoli, and I think he would sometimes fry up some potatoes, or just to have his sides, and he would eat bread. But then I think it was after maybe the first month, he just said, I don't care. I just eat what you eat. And of course, he's not as strict. Like, he would sometimes have a bit of hot chocolate in the evening, or something like that. But then he basically ended up carnivore, like me. And he has a severe allergy, but now that spring is on, and he's not really sneezing anymore. So, and he hasn't been taken his medication.
Oh,
So
that's fantastic. That's
yeah,
excellent.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's good for him too.
So, with all the changes you experienced, did you notice any improvements with your oral health?
Yes, yes. Before, when I would floss, my gums always bleed. Carnivore, I floss more, no bleeding. and and I was concerned about that, because I eat a lot of meat, so I need to floss, and I thought, okay, it's gonna be a lot of bleeding. No, nothing. So
That's
it's
great. That's great because, yeah, when you're doing carnivore, you do have to you've always got a toothpick or you've got something
yes.
in there trying to get the bits of meat out, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think maybe even my teeth just generally got stronger. Like, when you can just move your teeth and it's slightly moving, and it's like no movement in my jaws. So I, uh, I think also it's
Yeah.
because the diet. I have no
That
bleeding.
that's interesting. I noticed, like, I had the same thing with bleeding, but I also noticed that the teeth feel stronger. How about
Hmm.
your nails? Do your nails feel stronger?
Yes, my yeah, my nails used to break, like not like off, but like a layer, like you to peel it off. And it was really, really bad. That's like the worst, because it breaks over your fingertips. And I kept eating all kinds of vitamins, and then after a while you even forget, but it's just not happening. And now my knees just growing really fast. I have to keep cutting them because I do the dishes by hand. We don't have a machine. And so, and yeah, they are stronger nails, and my skin is better. And that was another surprise for me. I think it happened roughly in the second month, like November it was, where when I kind of noticed that my skin doesn't get as dry as normally in winter when we go into winter. And especially on my foot, my heels would crack really badly, and I had to use special creams, and it just never happened. I went through winter without heel cracks. So that was also another small but major issue in my life. Yeah, these small things that you notice that yeah, your teeth, your skin, even I think my I don't have as much earwax, and just something small like that. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I a lot of those things I've experienced as well. Like, yeah, it's like it it's maybe too much information, but in the before times it was pretty bad in there.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it's not the same anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the nails growing faster that you mentioned, that resonates with me as well. I feel like I have to cut my nails much more than I ever
Yes.
did before. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
my nails definitely both on my toes and my fingernails, and it's really interesting how it just healed. It just healed up.
yeah. So is it easy to be carnivore in Hungary?
Um, well, uh, when I've been watching all these videos, a lot of them suggested to do it at least 3 months. So in the first 3 months, I was very strict, and I tried to eat beef, which is we eat beef, but we eat it in a stew form, like a slow cook, and it's a big pot, and it's like a community food. You have all your relatives and friends, and they just have a big cauldron, like a rich pot, and then they just cook it for 3-4 hours, and then it's very nice. I love it, and we have mince, but steak is another thing. It's hard to find, but by I managed to find some steaks. Luckily, we have a local provider who deals with grey cattle, which is like a local type of beef here, and it's grass fed and it's lovely. It is pricey, yes, but once a week I definitely have a ribeye steak. Other than that, we have mince, we have the stew, so we try that. But I do eat a lot of pork and duck, and sometimes chicken. But with chicken I eat the wings, or with the more skinny bits like the thighs, or yeah, but not often. Chicken became like a snack almost, because before we would eat always the chicken breast with rice and some sort of sauce and broccoli. That was our food before. and it was easy. Now it's gone. I give chicken to my cats.
That's awesome. Yeah. I hear very similar stories from other people as well about chicken. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's used to be the main kind of meat that people were eating, and now it's kind of, yeah, I'm
It's
not so
gone.
crazy about that anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Um,
interesting.
what do your friends or your work colleagues think about this?
um, I, I I think people just generally they don't realize how serious that is, that how badly we eat, and I think it's hard to explain unless they do it and then they experience some benefits. Yeah, it's good for you, like that kind of thing. And when I'm watching these videos and all these doctors, like one of the channel that they do a lot of scientific things is, I think, Low Carb Down Under with Dr. Paul Mason or Zoe Harcombe or the others. It's very they show a lot of studies and how important it is, like to have a proper diet. Like one of the study that really hit me is and it's not even a new one, like 1973 I think it was, and maybe it was Paul Mason who showed this the chart showed when you eat oyster and that's the zinc absorption, or one of the minerals. So by itself, it was really high. But as soon as you ate it together with, let's say, I think it was beans, it went down. And then when you ate it with corns, it was almost zero. And how even these anti-nutritions in plants just stop um, the minerals and vitamins to be absorbed from meat. And so basically, when people eat all this, it's like a hobby eating, because you don't support anything to your body, you don't supply anything. And it's hard to explain to my colleagues that it's not just a hobby, because yeah, first I went one month by 1 month with my diet. I wanted to reach 3 months, and the first month was really difficult, and then the next one was easier. And after the third month, I just decided this is it. I just stay on it. But I understand it's difficult, and people think it's just a hobby or good for you, but it's really serious. They could just sort out all their inflammations no time, really. Most people I read, their results come really soon. So
Yeah,
they,
it's not like your regular diet that
mm,
we did in the 80s and 90s, when
yeah,
nothing happens.
yes, exactly. And it's really, the health benefits are amazing. And so some of them are a bit interested because they saw me. They see that basically what they see is that I lost weight, but not that much. But they do see, oh, you lost weight, and that's their interest, losing weight. But there are so many other things that helps, and so I try to tell them if they ask. And I guess sometimes they find it funny when I just have a piece of butter and just munch on it, uh, instead of like some pastry. Like before, I would have a bakery, and that was my breakfast, lunch, whatever, or when I needed something because my blood sugar just dropped. But now it's different, of course. So they're curious, but they don't think that it's too serious at
Kind
this
of, they're
point.
curious, but they're keeping the distance.
Yes.
So, are you still eating OMAD?
Sometimes not as strictly, especially at the weekends. We like to have eggs and bacon for like a late breakfast, and then later on we would have a big piece of meaty dish. And sometimes in the evenings, if I still feel a bit peckish, I would have something like a Greek yogurt, 10% fat. But other days when I have a lot of programs or lessons, I just eat one meal a day, especially when we have the steak that just lasts. When I have the big piece of ribeye, then usually it's just that one big piece of ribeye. So now I'm not so strict with high eat. I just follow my body. If I want something in the morning and I can't have a nice egg and bacon, yeah, I just munch on some butter, or sometimes I buy higher quality even salamis that at least 95% meat. I would have that with a piece of cheese, and I just munch on that as a snack. And yeah, but I'm generally just happy with how far I came with my health, really. So it's all
I
good.
I love that, with carnivore, you're able to just follow your body,
Yes.
just eat intuitively. Any other diet, whether it's, like a calories in, calories out kind of diet or whatever
Mhm.
you're doing, it would be if following your body would mean you're always in the fridge.
Yes, exactly. It's so true. And I remember myself, I even tried like the eat 5 times thing, like when you were encouraged to eat less but eat a lot. And then I think one day I found I think Stan Ekberg video, and he explained this insulin rush and up and down, and how bad that is. I didn't know that. I had no clue. And I'm like, oh my God, that's why I just can't lose weight. I'm constantly in high insulin, and insulin holds onto your fat. Um, he explains it better. And so anyways, I was shocked by all this, and even sugar, how bad that was for you. And the fruit sugar is the same, because your body doesn't differentiates table sugar, or you eat an apple, it's sugar. And when I was younger and I would go jogging, I could eat a whole carton, a liter of fruit juice after that. And of course, it was like a huge amount of sugar to my body. But I thought it's healthy because it's 100% fruit juice. Yeah, so it's healthy. I didn't know.
Yeah, it kind of seems ridiculous when you think that people go to the gym and they work out really hard for an hour. They lift weights, they jog, they do all this kind of stuff, and then they finish and go and eat a snack like a cereal bar, or they
Yeah.
drink fruit juice or something like that. And it's just like you're wasting your time going to the gym.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't know that. I was always wondering, how come, yeah, I get stronger, I can run faster, but I'm still the same weight. What's up? Of course, like I had
Yeah.
sugar.
Hmm. So what would you recommend to someone who is thinking about getting started with carnivore? How would you recommend they get started?
Uh, I think I would recommend, because generally here in Hungary you can get hold of very good quality lard. So I would just say stop using oil and start with the lard you can get, and maybe raise slowly but surely the meat portions, and at the same time take away just generally like rice or pasta dish, or I would maybe suggest to take slower, because I think in Hungary, with this big stew culture, we love our bread, we love our carbs, and so I think that's what I would say as a first step, to switch the oils, to go back to lard, as grandmother would use, and then do eat the meat. Don't be afraid that it's red meat or it causing all kinds of things. And then they will see the benefits. And maybe depends on how ill they are or what's their issue, what their goal, eventually at least try this 90-day without eventually vegetables as well, because it's amazing how well you can feel. And because they don't know that vegetables have these toxins as well, that they try to protect themselves, and eventually it accumulates in our body, and that causes all kinds of issues. So it's like a new world for me as well, and very, very interesting how we were misled just to eat the fiber, eat all this, you need that, and then you don't. You are fine. Even, yeah, talking about fiber, even my metabolism just got better on this diet, and that's also amazing, I think. I mean, yeah, it's like the list is so so long. You always notice something new in the next month. I'm like, oh wow, okay. That's another thing
Yeah.
that has improved.
Yeah. It's a process of discovery. It's a little bit like, um, when it's getting close to Christmas, you have an advent calendar and you open a new door every day to count down until Christmas Day or something. And Carnivore's a little bit like that. You're always opening doors, going, "Oh, there's a little surprise there for me. I didn't know that was going to get better."
Yeah, and
Mm.
with my family, for example, like my dad, he was really worried about me. um, he was very concerned because, of course, we are all told that you should eat a nice, colorful plate and vegetables and diet and all. You have to have a balanced diet, and the balanced diet was, of course, a good portion of carbs, a lot of vegetables, and maybe every other day you can eat meat. And he would call me like once a week, are you okay, you still feel okay? And I'm like, Dad, I feel really great, you should try it, I keep telling him. And I try to send him videos, but of course he understands more German and Hungarian, not so much in English. But now he sees that it's okay. And but he keeps saying, I'm old, I will just eat the way I eat. I'm like, okay, I try to be a bit pushy.
At least he's aware of it. So if he feels like he needs to try something, if he has joint pain someday or something, he can try that, right?
Yeah, yeah. I hope I can be an example for them, or in my family or with my friends, and if they open or they try. But everybody says, I wish I knew this before. So now this is the before time. So you can know this. So why don't you? Because even me, yeah, I wish I had found this earlier. I would have sorted myself out.
Yeah. I think the trouble is until they've done it, they don't know how
Yeah,
good they can feel.
yeah, and like you can choose like long time medication or maybe lifelong, or you just maybe try 3 months. I don't know why a lot of people just choose medication. Like,
Yeah, I think I think that's an issue with human conditioning,
yes.
like we just got so used to being able to push the button to get the solution.
Hmm. Yeah,
Mm,
I
yeah,
agree with that.
yeah. So, Elizabeth, do you have any social media or YouTube or anything like that if people want to reach out to you?
Well, I I do have a YouTube, but I haven't done any videos or nothing. Maybe I should in Hungarian, just so that people would hear about it more here as well. But I yeah I am on Instagram as well, but maybe just to look at other things. But if somebody can find me through that, or even through Facebook Messenger, I'm in some carnivore groups. Um, then they can find me there. But yeah, I'm just a simple girl from Hungary, and enjoying this kind of life. So I can just really encourage anyone to try at least a month. I did it for free, very strictly, and then the benefits are amazing. And then yeah, you don't have to worry that it becomes your religion. After that, your body can tell you how much you can tolerate an ice cream here and there, or whatever, yogurt, and then you can experiment. Like I did, because I really love dairy, and I did 1 week dairy free just to see how my body reacts, and it was really great. Unfortunately, it turns out that I'm a bit sensitive to milk, because after that, when I try to drink milk, it bloats me now. So I'm a bit angry about it, but it's okay, because then you discover that you have maybe a small issue, and I think it's really amazing that it's like a true way. It's a better diagnosis than you get from a doctor, because you know yourself, and so I just that's why I am happy to share my simple story, and maybe somebody will listen.
Well, thank you for coming on and sharing your story, Elizabeth, and congratulations on being pain-free.
Yes, thank you. I run again, and it's amazing.